Okay, yeah, it's like 1 o'clock. Uh, so, so connected to the city of Z. Um, uh, I'm not sure there's much proof of it or what is connected to the energies of it. Let's put it that way. So what do I know about it? It's in the Amazon River or somewhere in those areas. Brazil has some kind of connection to it, so it's like more like a myth. And you can say it's there's a golden energy, which I feel from it. It's more, it feels like it's like some kind of, it does feel like an advanced civilization that's like it's there and then it's gone type of energy. I don't know a whole lot about it. So sometimes it's for the best. It's just go with it. Just keep it. Sometimes the West, it's kind of like Atlantis. Like not much is done about that. Not really. But the lost city of Z is another energy that just go with it. Doesn't mean you have to have any type of physical proof or anything like that. Just it's all energy anyway when it comes down to it. So just connected to its wisdom and it's like an alien race, you can say. So pretty much it is. So it just I don't know. Yeah, I feel like observers, yeah, they do have advanced technologies. Doesn't mean they shared much of that. Probably in the building materials and things like that, especially South America. It feels like it went to Mexico area too. So it's all hearsay basically. But it's like anything else, you just connect to the vibrations of it and see what you pick up from it. So there is a definitely portal energy, especially the Amazon River, which are not telling us a whole lot. They say there's civilizations there, at least once were, and you're not hearing anything about it. So they're keeping all that pretty quiet. And will we ever know? Uh, Eventually, no time soon though. Also, the Bermuda Triangle energies, of course, people are aware of that energy. I haven't tapped that. You don't hear about that news wise. Um, but it's definitely, at least at one time, it was fully active. I don't know how it's treated these days. But yeah, it feels like they know where to they keep, be careful of. There's definitely Atlantean energy. There's definitely, depending on, you know, not everybody's going to agree with this, but there was probably some kind of energy weapon there at one time. Definitely around Florida area for sure. There's a lot of crystal energies, a lot of, yeah, just, of course, the Bermuda Triangle is like a doorway there, but I believe there's other things that were there at one time. So it's just like what you would have in was it Sedona and other places, just a door to another reality. It's just it's like a highway. So, and also the crop circle energies haven't happened that in ages. It's mostly about the energy, when crop circles are formed. You can say there's always a message, I guess, but it's really just about the frequency they're bringing here. I mean, everyone's looking. I guess some people are looking for a message and everything. It's like it doesn't always have to be a message, but I mean, don't destroy each other. Be nice to each other. And yes, the higher dimensions don't know what they're doing. Well, we test them. So think of it as, like your guides, or some people believe they have no guides, but there's always somebody around. Even if they're in spirit getting coffee, there's somebody there. Maybe you have a bunch of birds hanging around you. Who knows? Maybe for some people it's a bunch of cockroaches. So, whatever. And it shows too. But like another reason why people hold on to this world is like, okay, I'm going, like you're going to pass over, go to the higher dimensions, but then you feel it's like, do you guys have it together over there? It's like maybe I should stay here for a little bit longer, because obviously it's not all what's cracked up to be there either. Well, it's maybe higher frequency, but it might not be fulfilling. It can still have, narcissism, judgment, whatever it is. It's, it doesn't mean that they have it all figured out. It just might be a higher energy, and you might everybody be pretty and beautiful and smell nice, but there could be also a lot of lacking of just. It can feel like a soulless existence. So we're teaching our guides a lot, especially when we go through our challenges, because depending on how you look at it, we're going where they are, you could say. I mean, if they're coming from another planet or whatever it is, like they're preparing us to, once we leave here, to, exit through their energy. So if we feel like they don't have it together, it's like, it's another way of looking at it. Let's put it that way. So you're here as long as you need to be to, so when you exit, you go somewhere halfway decent. So it's just another point of view. Let's put that. Yeah, just look at that one. Because this world, just because, like I say, they're higher dimensions doesn't mean you got it all figured out. And, just is this a plethora of other problems? But coming here is helping balance that out. Bringing knowledge here. It's like you're bringing like a heavy textbook to them. And obviously the guides, yes, can have issues, of course, and you're here to resolve yours and theirs, you can say. And that's pretty messed up when we're here to go through their problems too. But it's an agreement. It's like, why did I do that stupid thing? And that might not, maybe that's something you need to go through with them, but you always learn something from mistakes on all levels. So sometimes like a small mistake is better than a big one. But it's something to think about, especially with the guides. And because when you leave here, you're still passing through their energy, if you like it or not. So it's obviously that's why you clear energy with them. That's why you can say people feel like they get taken somewhere else, somewhere wrong, or that can be definitely through the guides for sure. I mean, aren't they supposed to protect you? And all of a sudden you leave this world and you end up in some kind of purgatory somewhere. It's like, it might not be your energy, but it could easily be theirs. So it's just, not that it's going to happen a lot, but that can't happen though. It's complicated here. You always hear all these different stories. I don't want to make it like Spooksville or anything like that. Everyone has their own point of view. So, okay, let's see what we got here. Let's go into the city of Z, just a little bit of that. That's all right. Time to come. 5 sessions. I have scheduled. I'm going to shop here. Webinar. Social network behind the scenes. And go to the city of Z for a real quick visit. It's not much to see, actually. It's a Wikipedia page. It's even more boring. This is what I had up when I was looking at it. It's Mato Grosso. There's probably other places though, but so there's this. Well, either way, it's interesting. Well, I looked up. I didn't get very far when I was. Well, it's more like the forest areas. In the city regions, of course. Stuff like that. Just But back to what was it, Piercy Fawcett? Yeah, I just feel like it's an indigenous city beliefs have existed in a jungle of Brazil, but probably with no real proof of it. If there is proof, I'm not aware of it. Yeah, it's like a legend of the city of Z. Yeah, which it makes sense. There's also what was it, like a city of D or something like that? I saw like the city of. I guess they made a film out of it. Yeah, the Hunt for a City of Z, and I guess they made a movie of. Oh, okay, this is a comedy though. Yeah. No, you never know. It just feels like there's a lot of portal energy there. So, if it works for you, you'd be surprised you can find your lost relatives there. Yeah, just see what we get from those frequencies. So, all right, going to the city of Z, Bermuda Triangle, and the crop circle frequencies. All right, blessings. Greetings. It's really the consciousness of city of Z. Yes, take what you want. There's many species that are maybe not. Oh, yes, a little bit. Yes, try to keep their distance from humans, at least from your world. It's like it's like a civilization be created here, but then when you connect more to the human race, that's the agendas. Sometimes those cities disappear. It's like we can't do this. We thought we could, but then we leave. But it doesn't mean you don't have observers here. Does not mean you do have citizens of the city of Z here. Yes, and you can say we are quite primitive, at least in your point of view. I mean, yes, we might have advanced technologies, but as for people, yes, we're not like you, and we're still learning from your frequencies, but we are connected to many of the tribes around the world, basically to keep things simple. Very simple. Kind of like the Indians of your planet, but it's a tribal frequency. Now, some of you might connect to the city of Z and see a very advanced civilization. Possibly, yes, more advanced than yours, yes, but more in the cosmos. So there's places like this in the Pleiades, Sirius, and there's civilizations that call themselves the city of Z. This is not just for your world. So think of it as like a utopia. Just what do you feel from it? There's planets called Z, and so on. But the city of Z just has a frequency of course, learning. But once again, the city of Z frequency here did not feel like it can, calibrate its frequency to your world and just vanished. But once again, our people are still here. Not necessarily all in the tribes. There are others that are part of the sciences and, it's throughout your society. Just quiet. They don't even know who they are. There's no reason to. Well, as they say, they're warning how it is to be human here. Yes, they might be very primitive. I mean, yes, maybe knowledgeable, but still primitive as a human to learn from your ways. Now, is this how humans are here? Does that contribute to a certain level? It's like a lot of alien beings look at your world and so kind of questions like, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why would you make things so difficult for yourselves? So, why would you lower your frequency so easily and so on? Why would you have that bitterness against those people that don't particularly like the way you look? But that's more about their problems than your problems. So, yes, caring about other people, I think, is a challenge here. Well, just that the citizens of the city of Z were of course, we have different points of view, but we're usually just, you know, we have like a project or we just focus on each other and ourselves as like what a family would do without all the fighting. So that's why we can build so easily. Of course, you don't really see our structures here, but we can build easily because we're so connected. We're not fighting each other. Once again, we're not. I mean, yeah, it might be some constructive criticism, but not, not as a lashing out, not an attack. As some of you have dealt with their family members, and some of that is the reptilian ego, or the Martian ego is like the Martian frequency is you know I'm gonna kind of like a bully energy and just trying to get under your skin as much as possible, like finding your what can trigger you, but even what can really just push you over the edge completely. Like turning into another person practically. That's the Martian way. That's one of the ways how they operate. Yeah. The Venus energy is usually advanced technology wise. Of course, the Martians are also, but the Venus frequency, at least at this point, is here as a healing energy. But yes, in the past, it's been very difficult. That's why we feel those frequencies. So you have a balance of pretty much everybody in the universe here, actually. You have a piece of all of them. You might not. It's a lot to really unravel, especially your connections to the animals, because the animals here are learning from you. Of course, yeah, they keep things simple. It's like, why can't the humans do that? And the human response would be, why should we? What for? What is that? It's like we're being a little bit more creative with our time, sort of. Even if it's a waste of time, it's still, I mean, as many of you know, you run those that do waste their time a lot. Well, that's the art of wasting one's time. And that can also become very contagious, as some of you know, like no motivation. And that's almost like a virus, especially when you have all this potential and it's all just being misused, iron used. But doesn't mean you have to incarnate here again. But of course, when you leave this incarnation, have done nothing with your abilities. Yeah, that can be some of those souls that go through that. Yeah, kind of go into a gray energy, depending. Because they like you're one person here, feel like you're on the right track, and then when you leave this world, it's like, wow, I didn't do anything with myself, did I? At least here you can make it. If you're making attempts, you're doing something. But there's many that are, they feel like they are, but they really aren't doing anything. That's maybe you probably noticed that. What's this? Greetings with the consciousness of the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, it is a portal, but there is a lot of lives. There's a lot of voices there still, ghost energies of your past. And if it's obviously it's in the ocean, so it's a little bit difficult to connect to, at least on a like a group, or I mean, you don't necessarily have to be there physically to connect to its frequency. But if you are there, depending on your type of intuitive connections, yes, you can feel a ghost energy. You can even go back in time, even see Atlantean frequency, because there's a lot of activations there. It's like you just time travel to the past as an observer, and that can be quite intense. It can also make you sick at the same time. Like maybe you see too much. You might not remember it when because you can go unconscious when you connect to it, depending on who you are. Now, others have glimpsed into those frequencies, but usually they know just to kind of stay out of those energies, because you can get pulled in quite deeply. So it's just a part of your past that's not ready to be healed, as you can see. But of course, there's always different perspectives. Yes, you can have a healing energy. You can get into the past. You can get into Lemurian frequencies. You can actually improve your chakras, open to higher dimensional knowledge. But also, once again, higher dimensional knowledge, how do you manage that? Are you at a level where you're not just criticizing others? And if someone does anger you, do you attack them, or you just, how do you handle that? Because even in higher dimensions, you still can be tested. Now, there are some dimensions where everyone's on the same page. It's not like it's, well, for some of you, it's like, well, let's not argue. Let's be on a world where we just, let's all just chill out and just, yes, there are obviously worlds where you can just, joke around and just lay around and just take it easy and just release a great deal of the tension that you, from this world and other worlds. But then there are other planets that do dabble in, usually it's of a positive frequency, but it can every once in a while someone show up and test you. Yes, you're a higher dimensional being, and how do you handle it? Someone makes fun of your looks or whatever it might be, and how do you take that? Because it comes out of nowhere, and that can also, it's to see if you can keep your vibration high, or or is that going to lower you to your ego and bring in, you know, a lot of manipulations? It's all up to you. So yes, once you're up, someone can take you down. As some of you have realized those frequencies. So yeah, it's not just on your world. There's plenty of other places where that occurs. And yeah, it's like when you go to those worlds, just like this one, it's like you don't remember you agreed to this. And that's the point. Of course, in this world, yeah, there's so many energies here to pull you down, as you know, for addiction reasons, or just point out negativity, just negative towards everyone, and just doom and gloom, and self destruction, which is probably the worst one. Or just just yeah, there's nothing wrong with going into your own darkness and going through anger, but to really just go in self-destruction, because you're the only one who can really take yourself down when you really think about it. Or you get someone else to do it for you, but still, you're still kind of triggering that. As some of you know. Greetings. This is the consciousness of the crop circles. Also, the Zeta are here, and also the Arcturians. So, yes, the crop circles all have a different purpose. To get a message from it, everyone has their own point of view. So, you get multiple messages. You have millions of messages from one crop circle, or just like anything else on the planet, for that matter. But as for why a crop circle is created, like a Zeta race can create a crop circle just to calm things down, or yes, to message other alien energies. But a lot of it is always about assisting your world. Are there crop circles here to manipulate your planet? No. Well, some might say yes, but we're seeing no. Well, there's always a positive, negative to everything. Let's put it that way. So sometimes it can have good intentions, and that can cause all kinds of trouble. Let's put it that way. Another point of view. But as for the crop circle frequencies, now some of you are connected to those energy fields. As some of you can probably feel like it's like maybe all of a sudden, like you look up a crop circle, those energies are talking to you. There's a purpose for it. So it's like a tattoo for the planet, at least for a short time. You also get a crop circle energy, and that would be very surreal. You don't have to necessarily get a crop circle on your third eye, but some would probably do that if they had the idea. As that can open you up. Doesn't mean your third eye be completely open, but just shows that you're opening up a portal there for others to see. We'll get that way. And yeah, crop circle tattoos, yes, they do exist, but not on a massive level. But they can also be good luck. All crop circle designs, they all have some kind of good luck to it. So it's all about your intention connected to it. Once again, the frequencies, as for the Arcturian energies, a lot of Arcturians are concerned for the Earth. Of course, all alien races are. Well, because there is this, always that chance of humanity really losing its grip. Yes, and this might be the last day on your planet. There's always that timeline that is aware. Not that will happen, but as many of you know, yes, the apocalyptic energies, many are, because many that come from those apocalyptic realities are here currently. That's why they think about it quite a bit. So, but it's not so easy. Is this world going to shut down just like that? Probably not. Not until no, not until things really, not until you learn your lessons here. As many say, oh, look, we're not learning our lessons, might as well just shut down the planet. That doesn't, yes, you're not going to get out of this that easily. So usually that means the challenges reinforce themselves, like they're not learning anything. We're just going to continue this loop until they all figure it out. So look at it that way. It's kind of like you're waiting for the school to burn down, so you can go home early. So it's like a cheap way. It's like an unconscious way. So yes, the world's gonna be over soon. So who cares? It's like and the planet is like, I don't think so. So just realize this: all end of the world energies. Like I say, you'll know if it's actually occurring. And in our cases where you won't, but some of you will have an idea. But then, yes, many are premonitions about that, which may you're connected to a reset frequency. It's like out with the old and with the new. Old technologies eventually not exist. And yes, one day you won't even need refrigerators, ovens, things of that kind, because it's part of your society. You're not going to leave those aren't going to go away anytime soon, but there will be a time frame we don't need them anymore. Well, it's just that, yes, the need for food becomes less and less. You just, yes, connected to the earth's energy, basically. It's like you left that timeline. Not quite there yet, because all the challenges here, you need something to process and let your mind clear. This is a war, as you know. It can be just, it's just there's so many agendas hitting this planet constantly. And yes, your world can handle it. So yes, you might as well go through it while you can. Because not, yes, not every world has these type of lessons here, even if you're not fully aware of them. Just that you're here. That's the main thing. You're here. You're still alive. You still can breathe to some level. Maybe some can't breathe, but either way. And that's and some of you that are looking more into, like you say, the history of this world. It's going to be different for everybody because you all come from different places, and also the future is going to look different from everybody also. But all those points of view all matter. It's just that putting them all together here in the physical is not, it's not going to be the easy. There's always going to be some kind of mystery here. Well, without mystery, you wouldn't have the lessons, the challenges that you have here. So there has to be some kind of mystery for you to figure things out. And that's the adventure of it. It may not be the adventure that you care for, but it's really, finding your way out of these challenges and into positivity to assist others. But as you know, even if you are assisting others, that can come back to you also. So why is everybody mad at me? I'm trying to help others. And maybe not everybody wants to be helped. So there's that.